ground rules between themselves over the political and military difficulties that they are going to face. Shashank Joshi is an associate fellow at the UK's Royal United Services Institute. We shouldn't underestimate these difficulties, should we?
Not at all. You have, for the first time in a long time, the Americans saying, we would like to be on the side. We'll help you out with support facilities, refueling aircraft, but they don't want to use their offensive air power first. They would like the French and the British to do it. And the French and the British, in turn, would like to see the UAE and Qatar take up some of that slack.
President Obama yesterday specifically said that the US role in this was leadership. That is what for regions he didn't want to see destabilised. So how can that be, if they want leadership, how can they then want the Europeans to take the lead?
Well, on this particular issue, they absolutely don't want leadership. It's clear the signs coming out of America are that they feel they've been pulled into this by the Europeans, much as in Kosovo in '99. They feel this is not their battle. They didn't see vital strategic interests at stake.
Well, the President specifically says yesterday, when he addresses, he says, the region, we cannot afford to see the region destabilised. We must continue to fight for the values that we hold dear. So he is putting forward American ideals and values.
He certainly is, but if you had not had the Arab League resolution of support for a no-fly zone, if you didn't have the UAE step up and Qatar step up and say, we will participate, it's clear the United States would not have thrown its weight behind that historic resolution 2 days ago.
But now the resolution has been passed, everybody is in this boat together.
Yes, although they will be keen to limit their exposure to the toxic effects that will follow if anything goes wrong.
Right, but so we know there's no ground forces.
Absolutely not, and there's no appetite for any.
Right, and yet, as we're hearing from our Damon, the attack, an attack against Benghazi is underway.
Absolutely,
so the fig leaf of ceasefire from the Deputy Foreign Minister
has completely crumbled.
Has been shown. If fig leaves can crumble, but yes, I take your point. So what happens now?
Well, the great difficulty is if these forces are now on the edge or inside urban areas,
which is what
we're suggesting. Yeah, it is not as easy to hit them, even with the most precise and advanced weaponry. So you may need special forces on the ground targeting airplanes to make them avoid any hint of civilian casualties.
Is it your understanding that you could have special forces, or would that come under 1973?
No, the 1973 does not allow a foreign occupation force. Special forces can't occupy a country. They've been used in Afghanistan, in Kosovo, they will be used again. The issue is, though, all Gaddafi has to do is put a tank or artillery piece next to a hospital, a school. What happens then?
So what do you think happens? How does this play out, if you like, in the hours ahead? Because after Paris today, is it likely that they can cobble together agreement that would have, and I use the phrase advisedly, allied coalition forces, if you like, in the air today?
Today or tomorrow, but I think their credibility is now at stake. Gaddafi has shown himself to be unwilling to respect the ceasefire, if there ever was any, and he's now making a mockery of this coalition meeting in Paris today, unless they act very shortly. So if you don't see agreement, I think you will see coordinated, simply French and British action by itself occurring very, very soon.
Many thanks indeed. We'll be talking to you more about this as we get more developments. Many thanks. Now,